Okay, FX. Any of you saw the email that was sent out to your inboxes this morning by my marketing team? Basically, they want me to do a trade idea to promote my webinar, so I did a dollar sing setup because I thought, I mean, I was quite bearish on dollar sing, dollar cat since last week. I took a trade short on dollar cat. I made a loss because of the unfortunate incident in the Belgium airport, the bombings. So a lot of flight to safety. That's why dollar strengthened. So if you look at, let me just start dollar cat since I was talking about it. So daily chart, right? Yeah, I took a short roughly around the 132 level. Okay, but the unfortunate events last week caused the dollar to push higher, so I made a loss. But having said that, I'm trying to take it down to at least back to previous lows again. Same thing for the dollar sing. Okay, same thing for dollar sing. All right, so let me just cover the dollar sing since the email was sent out this morning to you guys. Let me try to explain my analysis. All right. So if you look at the weekly chart of the dollar sing, okay, it is in a downtrend. It is in a downtrend. Okay, based on price action, if I take my drawing tool, okay, see this key low was broken. Okay, this is a lower high compared to this high, and we form a key lower low. All right, so it is in a downtrend. All right, the divergence here in the beginning helped you. So you can see the higher high made here, but a lower high made here since last year. So that was a bit of a bearish divergence that gives you a heads up that it's a bit toppish. Okay, so it starts coming down. So weekly is in a downtrend. However, you cannot ignore that it has reacted off the key support level at around 135. So there's no way I want to be seen shorting anywhere here because I know that this is quite a strong support level. Okay, so that's a weekly chart for you. Now if you go down to the daily chart, okay, so weekly downtrend, daily chart, nice downtrend as well. So if I take up my drawing tool again, you can see lower lows here, lower high here compared to this high, another lower low, another lower high, another lower low, another lower high, another lower low, and this potential area here is a potential lower high. Okay, so very nice downtrend. So both weekly and daily chart is confirming the trend, which is what I like. All right, now let me just take away the drawing tools. Okay, so both are downtrend to the downside. Okay, what I like about this setup is also the resistance level. If you see this level here, support, then resistance. I also like it because it's reacting off a key 137 level here. Okay, 137 is a psychological resistance, a whole number. So let me just take away the drawing. So if you draw a line here, all right, you can see it around 137. All right, around, I would say anywhere between 137 to 137.30 or so. This whole level here. All right, if you zoom out, you can see that why this level is quite nice in terms of support and resistance here. Here, all the rubbish here, the support here, and the support here, and now become resistance. Okay, so that's another reason why I like this level. Next reason is I like it because it's putting back into my moving averages, and moving averages is quite far apart, which signals momentum and speed to the downside. It's moving back into it. Okay, and I'm hoping that you can take it down maybe back to this level here, at least the 136. Okay, because even if, of course, if it goes, if it just plunges down and makes a new lower low, that will be a nice trade. Okay, in fact, if it goes down the previous low, that would be a very nice 200 pips trade or so. Really nice the downside. But I'm not too greedy. I'm just looking near the 136 level because that is the next. That's the next support at around here. It's around 136 or so. Okay, around here. Okay, but because if you're because I'm trading more of a intraday / swing trade, right? For me, even if he wants to make a change of trend to the upside, okay, if I short near the resistance level here, even if it wants to change to the upside, it will probably come down a bit and then start grinding its way higher here. So this whole area here will probably be a higher low compared to this area here. So it probably form a higher low here before grinding its way up. Okay, it's a very unlikely case whereby the market starts coming down and then the thing just zooms up like that all the way. So what I'm looking out for if the market is downtrending, okay, I might take a pullback, still take a pullback short, okay, but I'm very wary about what it does near the potential high low or whether it's going to form a double bottom before turning up. But if I take it at a nice place, in according to the trend, then I should be in profit already when it goes to these areas. If it makes a new low, even better, even better. But I'm just giving myself the highest probability trade in terms of making pips or making profit. Okay, so there's a few reasons on a few good reasons on why the dollar Sing short look quite nice. Of course, some of you, there's also a little trend line here. Sorry about that. Okay, there's also a little trend line here, and I did mention in the email that there's a bit of a bearish divergence as well, because if you look at this high to this high, this is a lower high, but if you compare it to this high, it's a high high, so it's actually a hidden bearish divergence. Okay, so I laid out at least 4 to 5 reasons of why this dollar Sing trade idea might come into fruition. It's a good risk to reward trade, so hopefully it works out for us. Alright, so this is my thought process behind the dollar Sing setup which I mentioned. Okay, so let's move on to more common pairs. Hi Xavier, you have a question. Do you have any advice to overcome the possibility of a dead cat bounce? Well, the advice of a possibility of a dead cat bounce is you most probably get stopped out and you need to absorb that loss. So you need to be able to walk away from that loss and just shrug it off and just move on. Yeah, I understand. I think that a lot of the dead cat bounce, especially if you're a trend trader, right? I think like some of the markets recently, like oil, mostly oil and some of the other pairs, even some of the yen pairs last week. I mean, as much as possible, you try to ride the trend. But sometimes, Xavier, you're right. There might be a dead cat bounce that can stop you out, but so be it. That's just part of trading. It's part of trading. So it is possible, but you need to be able to cut a loss and just play another trade. Okay? Because even if it's a dead cat bounce, you need to ask yourself, is this still a downtrend? Maybe it wants to move another level before dropping, or is it reversing? So, but if you are unable to cut a loss, you're unable to free your attachment to your previous trade, then it's very hard to plan for the next one. So for me, if there's a dead cat bounce, you need to stomach a loss first. It's part of trading. Okay, and then plan again. Okay, because who can predict a dead cat bounce? And even if you, because if you try to always, if you're so fearful of dead cat bounce, you'll be very fearful to enter a trending market, correct? Because every time when the market does, let's say it's a downtrend, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low high. Every time when you want to short a lower high, you always be afraid there's a dead cat bounce. All right, let's say you want to short here, but you're afraid there's a dead cat bounce and go higher, and you don't short it, and then it just continues. Okay, so we can't predict dead cat bounce, but we just need to use our strategy and our method, all right, to try to grab as much pips as possible when there's a trend. If there's a dead cat bounce, we get stopped out, so be it. Then plan another trade. Okay, there are 1,001 instruments out there. I mean, you got commodities, you got indices, you got FX. I mean, there's so many charts to look at. There are definitely nice trends out there. All right, I do not have time in the world, if not affecting US stocks as well. I got some clients who just trade purely US stocks. My goodness, the trends there are amazing. Okay, I would love to factor in US stocks into my trading. All right, maybe one day if any of you know how to use a scan to develop some form of market scan to find trending markets, that'll be so awesome. Okay, I mean the thing about I was trying to get a programmer to design some kind of scan MT4 for me to scan the markets. But when I use price action, the closest indicator that you can that is to price action is the zigzag tool on the MT4, but it's not the most accurate. All right, for me my price action is still quite discretionary in terms of how I see the swings. If I can convert that kind of an analysis for my head into an indicator MT4, it'd be so much easier. Okay, it'd be so much easier. So that's just my next phase of trading, I would say, because you can scan all the markets and you just focus on all the trending markets, just ride the trends. Alright, because there are a lot of good markets out there. So I'm still not doing stocks yet, but I mean, once I get more proficient in terms of trading the trends on the indices and FX, I'll definitely move on to US stocks because there's amazing trends out there. Alright, so that's dollar Sing for you. Okay, let's move on to the majors. Euro dollar. Euro dollar. Okay, let's go to the weekly chart. Okay, Euro dollar weekly chart to me is still consolidating. I think I mentioned in the last webinar that I'm not traded Euro dollar for months because it's just been consolidation central. Okay, so Euro dollar weekly chart doing nothing much. It looks a bit more bullish, but for me it's just consolidating, and the resistance and support is quite nicely defined. All right, if you look at the daily chart, looks a bit more bullish. Almost look like a McDonald's sign, but really there's not much trend. So, but for me, the key resistance, if you're a long-term trader of Euro, right, the key resistance to look up for is the 114 area. Every time when we hit 114, we drop. And the last time in August, when we tried to make a push higher, I thought it was a breakout. I think I tried to trade this breakout, but it came all the way back down, so it was a false breakout. Really big fake there. It made another fake out in October, but 114 is very key. The last time we were there is near Feb. We didn't even go to 114. We went to 113.80 or so, then we dropped. And similarly in March, we went to 113.40 and then we start dropping. Okay, so in terms of the big picture is consolidating. Daily chart though is a bit of an uptrend, but I'm very keen to see what happens near the 113 area. If we can break the March high, then high chance that we'll be able to take some trades to the upside, maybe back to the next resistance near 113.80 to 114. Okay, but daily chart is an uptrend. Other than that, not much analysis on the Euro dollar. It's just the way it is. Okay, if you look at dollar yen, okay, dollar yen I think was one of the better performance today. So if you look at you don't need the weekly chart, let me just show you a daily chart. It's really consolidating between 111 to 114. Nothing much you can do. I'm not touched dollar yen for a long time. So for me, I'm only keen to trade dollar yen if it breaks 114 clearly to upside, and then maybe you can trade it up. If you look at the weekly chart, okay, weekly chart is actually still in a downtrend. Alright, so if it breaks the 114 area on the daily chart, then I'm quite keen to try to take it up, maybe back to the resistance at around 115.80 to the weekly chart. But weekly, it is on a downtrend. It is definitely on a downtrend. It's just that the daily is a bit more bullish to sideways. So this is where I need to be a bit more careful because the two different charts are telling different stories. Okay, so if you look at the 4-hour chart, very, very nice uptrend. Okay, but we are approaching a key resistance area, so just be mindful. So I got nothing much on dollar yen. Just be a bit patient. If you are bullish, let it break the 114. If you are bearish, I would prefer it to wait for it to break this level here on the weekly chart. Okay, if you are bearish, see what the market does near 114. Okay, because if it's still unable to break it, then high chance that we might come back down this back to this consolidation channel, back to previous low at 112, and then make a break downwards. Alright, so bear that in mind for dollar yen. Okay, what else? You guys got any pairs you want me to cover? Let me just talk about Aussie dollar. Any pairs, please shout out, yeah? So Aussie dollar has made a very significant change of trend on weekly chart. So if you see, it has been a nice downtrend, consolidated for a bit, from a double bottom, and it broke a key resistance of 74 cents. Very nice higher high made. You see, very significant higher high. So this is a very nice change of trend here. You can draw in the resistance here at around the 76 cents. Okay, so what I'm keen, if we make a drop back to the 74 cents area, right, this is more of a long-term trade plan, yeah? But if it makes a drop back to near the 74, anywhere here, I'm very keen to take it up again, at least back to maybe 76 area or so. Okay, but this is a long-term trade plan. If you go to a daily chart, you can see that it has been struggling to break the 76, not surprisingly, but we are consolidating in some form of a wedge, like that. Okay, so let's see what happens. Alright, if you are more of an aggressive intraday trader, if it breaks the support, you can try to take it down, back to the previous resistance support. This level here is very key. Anywhere between 73, 80, 74. This whole level here is very key. Because look at the amount of touches here. Okay, so shorter term trade plans that if it breaks this support, then you might be coming down back to this level here. And then this is where longer term swing traders will try to take it up again. Okay, but just bear in mind, the 76 level has a lot of resistance up here. Okay, but if you're a longer term trader, you'll be happy to know that Aussie dollar has made a reversal to the upside, because this is a very, to me, this is a very significant higher high. Okay, that's Aussie dollar. Okay, question, will you touch on STI or individual stock? I don't have an STI chart here. Closest we have is Singapore Blue Chip. If you want individual stock, sure. If I have it on my charting software, I'll be more than happy to cover it. No problems at all. Okay, so that's Aussie dollar for you. Now, any other FX pairs that you guys want to cover? If not, I'll move on to some individual stocks that K-Pang might want to talk about, and I'll move on to commodity as well. Okay, no questions on FX. Let me move on to commodities. Let's start with gold. K-Pang, if you got any, so not K-Pang, Kel-Pang, sorry. Kel, if you got any questions that you want to, any stocks you want me to analyze, please shout out, yeah? Hopefully I have the feeds here, but let me just move on commodities first. So commodities, now, gold, weekly chart. It looks quite similar to Aussie dollar, isn't it? So we are on an uptrend. For me, it was an uptrend when it broke the high here. The key high was 1180. It broke the high, and we might make another push up again. Okay, so weekly chart is definitely on the upside for gold. If you go to the daily chart, okay, before we go to daily chart, let me just point out something. Okay, so if you look at the weekly chart, the level that I like on the weekly chart is around this area here, anywhere close to 1200. Okay, because this whole area here has a lot of nice support. Okay, so this two area here, this is a nice support for gold, which I think long-term traders will try to buy up to push it higher again. So I'm keen for it to come down to this area and look for buying opportunities. If you go to a daily chart, okay, the area I was talking about is around here, 1200 to 118, somewhere around here. Okay. So what I hope is that the bearish divergence already played itself. I'll see higher high, lower high. I think I pointed this out on my last webinar. So what I hope we'll do for gold is that we'll come back to test the resistance and then come back down to this support area here. And then once we're in this support area here, I'm looking for a bit of higher term time frame to try to push it up again. Okay, but I'm wait for it to come back to this previous support term resistance, and hopefully we can take like shorter term trades to the downside. And then once it hits here, then just be a bit mindful, because there's a lot of strong support here, anywhere between 1180 to 1200. Okay, but that's gold for you. Now in terms of other commodities, let me touch a bit on Brent. Okay, I think Brent looks good to the downside. So obviously we are the key level Brent at $40. Okay, let me go to a weekly chart first. Okay, so ignore this trend line. Okay, but we are at that zone. We are quite near to the zone, partly because of the whole number of $40, right? But if you draw a line across, right, you can see that we are near that zone, whereby if the bears want to push it in, they will push it down again. Okay, we are near that zone. This is a weekly chart. Now if you go to the daily chart, it looks a bit more bullish. Alright, it looks a bit, in fact it is bullish. Okay, let me just delete that line there, sorry. Okay, so daily chart is looking more bullish. However, the top here is looking a bit topish as well. So even though it's bullish, it looks a bit exhausted. And as I drew the line just now, you can see that there's a lot of resistance around here. So not surprisingly, the bulls are a bit tired. Okay, so what I'm looking out for is on the 4-hour chart. Okay, what I like is that it's making a series of lower highs, which shows that the uptrend is a bit tired. If it breaks this level here, a high chance we might make a push back to $39. And on the daily chart, we might go to the next support level, which is around 39. Alright, so just be mindful. You see the 39 level is here, which is quite a nice support level. Anywhere between 38.50 to 39. Okay, so just keep an eye on the 4 hours chart. If we break this support, high chance we might go to 38.50 to 39. Alright, we are almost there. We are testing it again. Okay, but the market is compressing the downside. We're making a series of lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Okay, so that's the Brent crude oil June 16 contract. So just pay attention to that. Jason, S&P. So Jason, I covered S&P in the beginning already. Don't mind if you can watch the recording. We'll try to upload as soon as possible because I'm running out of time. Normally I start with indices followed by FX and commodities. S&P will be the first one I start with. Okay, but S&P overall just a bit consolidating, so just be a bit mindful. Kel, okay, I can only pick one because we are really out of time. Let me see. Let me try Supergroup if I have that. Hopefully the stock is liquid enough to analyze. Yeah. Okay, so this is Supergroup based on Kel's request. Okay, let's go to weekly chart. Not the nicest of chart, but you can see from weekly chart that it broke the previous high at 95 cents. So this is definitely a change of trend to the upside. So this is an uptrend in the weekly chart. Daily chart, definitely uptrend, very nice level. This is a key level around the 96.50, anywhere between 95 and 96. Right now is pulling back, still on the uptrend. Okay, what I'll do, Kel, is I'll be very keen to see what's happening around this level here. Because you can see previous support here, so it might happen again here. Alright, so previously it came down, bounced up, but I think this level will be reacted again. So this is the 96.50 level. So let's go to 4-hour chart. Okay, so let me draw in that level again. Somewhere here, isn't it? Okay, so what's happening is that, okay, a bit of divergence is played out. Yeah, pay attention to this level here. I don't think we'll break that easily. So if you see short-term charts reacting off the 96.30, 96.50 level, there's a chance that we might make a push higher up again. Okay, and then you can look for here for your first profit target also. Okay, because this support still looks very strong, especially if you see it on the daily chart. Okay, it still looks like a quite decent level support. So the first target for me will probably be back to the 102, the previous high, because maybe it's forming a mini head and shoulders. Alright, so the shoulders is at around 102 or so. Okay, so this is yeah, it's still a nice uptrend, I would say. Still a nice uptrend, but always wait for the short-term chart to confirm that it's reacting off the support level. Don't just blindly buy at the support. Okay. So when you draw the level and there's a gap up or down, is it of any concern? Oh, gaps, is it for stocks? Yeah, I don't trade much stocks, so I don't really do much gaps. But I mean, if there are gaps, then I try to go to further back in the history to see whether that level is key or not. Yeah, gaps definitely does not look good on the charts. Yeah, I hope that answers the questions. But sometimes gaps can open and close at key support and resistance levels as well, so that's what I'm looking out for. Yeah, Xavier. Nancy, yeah, Nancy. Sorry, I just saw your email today regarding Keppel Corp. I tell you what, Nancy, because we're running out of time, I need to end it now. Let me give you a call tomorrow, and then we discuss it one-to-one about Keppel Corp. Is that all right, Nancy? I'll give you a call tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon. Okay, sure. I'll give you a call tomorrow afternoon. Okay, cool. If not, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. If not, this webinar will be recorded and we'll upload it as soon as possible. All right, if not, thank you so much for coming by to this session. Hope you guys have benefited from it. Be mindful of yellow stock tonight, and as usual, always plan the trade and trade the plan. All right, have a good night, everybody. Take care.